All right, let's turn our attention to Jeffrey Epstein with the last 3.5 minutes we have left. He was denied bail today and will remain behind bars as he awaits trial on these sex trafficking charges for dozens of underage girls. The district judge, Richard Berman, announced his decision at a hearing in federal court in Manhattan this morning. Epstein has pleaded not guilty. Now, he has been tied to a number of high-profile people in both the business and political world. President Trump, President Clinton, Prince Andrew. You have been tied into this. There's a woman accusing you of rape. And a Wall Street Journal article today put out an expose by Epstein's ties to you and this guy, David Boies, the accuser's lawyer. In the article, you say Mr. Boies is trying to destroy you and your reputation. Tell us more about that.
Well, David Boies is a genuinely evil man. He has the worst record of anybody I know, prominent lawyers, in terms of ethics. More ethics charges have been filed against him. One judge said that any first-year ethics students would know that what he was doing was illegal. He engaged in unethical conduct in the Theranos case, in the Weinstein case. He also has a very questionable sexual history himself, and I think he's projecting. I have never done anything wrong sexually. During the relevant period of time, I've had sex with one woman, my wife. I challenge David Boies to say that he's had sex with only one woman. If he said it under oath, he'd be committing perjury, because I know, and my friends and his friends, I have inside sources from his own law firm who have described him as the Harvey Weinstein of the legal profession. So,
and Professor Dershowitz, I'm sure you've heard this a lot. You know, and Gabe Sherman's talked about that. It was in the Vanity Fair article yesterday. Every time this comes up, there's a lot of insinuation. You know, I think it's kind of entrenched in the article that people don't believe that you could go to Jeffrey Epstein's house and have a massage with a 50-year-old woman. People just don't believe that story.
I would say hundreds of people, including very, very many prominent people, went and had therapeutic massages. My wife was there. She had a therapeutic massage. My daughter was there. She had a therapeutic massage. Are they claiming that all of us somehow are tainted because we had a massage? I had one massage with an older woman who I didn't enjoy the massage because she wanted to put her knees on my shoulders. But I'm not going to apologize for having a massage any more than I'm going to apologize for visiting Jeffrey Epstein in prison. I was his lawyer and of
course, a lot of this, when you look at what's available for us to read now. I remember covering this case. I was working as a reporter in West Palm Beach at the time, and it all just disappeared. You look back, there's a lot that you can say in hindsight, but one of the things that stands out is the plane, the Lolita Express, and you can say with Jeffrey Epstein's reputation, how could he name his plane that?
He didn't name the plane that. Don't be ridiculous. That was named it by his critics.
But you can always rename the plane.
He never named it. That was never on an airplane. That's a made-up story. He never named it that. He never named it Lolita Island. None of us knew he had this private life when we had seminars with him at Harvard, when I was introduced to him by the Lady Rothschild, the wife of the Lord Rothschild, when I met with him with Shimon Peres and with Senator Glenn. These were very distinguished people. I met with him with that man who decoded the genome. None of us had any idea. When we had massages, my case, one massage, nobody had any idea there was anything improper going on in the house. I would not have brought my children, my grandchildren, to his house if we thought there was anything improper going on, if we seen any pictures. This is all after the fact application of what we now know. None of us knew that at the time. I'm proud of the role I played in the case. I represented him. I got him a good deal. That's what criminal defense attorneys are supposed to do. I never did anything improper, period. And I will prove it. And in the end, I hope that David Boies goes to prison because he has done terrible things in this case. All the women who have accused me started to commit their perjury only after they met David Boies. In other words, in every case, the woman said, I didn't have anything to do with Dershowitz. I never met him or had no association with him. And then they meet David Boies, and suddenly they make accusations. There's a term for that. And I want the federal government to be examining whether Boies is guilty of subornation of perjury. I want the federal government to examine whether Boies is guilty of extortion, of trying to get $1 billion from Leslie Wexner by essentially saying to Wexner, privately, if you don't want to have happen to you what happened to Alan Dershowitz in public, there are ways of resolving this. I think the federal government has to look. I went to the federal government with this story before any of this broke. I went to the city DA in New York with this. I went to the FBI with this. I want a complete and thorough investigation. I wrote a piece for the Wall Street Journal saying, investigate me. I'm happy to be investigated. I did nothing wrong. I challenged David Boies to call for investigation of his sexual conduct, of his ethical conduct, and of whether or not he has committed criminal conduct. That's my challenge to David Boies. Ask him to come on the show and respond to those challenges.
We will ask him. We will reach out to him. Professor Dershowitz, great to see you. Thank you for your time, sir.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for breaking news and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, then share it with your friends. Remember, you can watch Newsmax TV live on YouTube. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.